Hi everyone! If you're watching this because you just heard the words brain tumor about your dog, I made this for you. Today, I'm not going to overwhelm you with medical details. I want to talk about the emotional part, what it felt like for me, how I coped, and what gave me hope when I felt like I couldn't breathe. And this is Mona. She's sleeping right now. Lisa's also sleeping. My name is Arlene. I'm Mona and Lisa's mom. This channel is our real story. I'm creating two playlists. First is the Brain Tumor Diaries, and the second is the DM Diaries because our journey has had more than one chapter. This video is the first episode in the Brain Tumor Diaries. How I handled the shock and grief when we found out Mona had a meningioma, and what helped me keep going. Just a quick note, I am sharing our personal experience. This is not a medical advice. Every dog is different, so please always consult your vet or specialist for diagnosis and treatment decisions. I've shared the short version in the shorts, but here's the quick context. Before we had answers, there were signs that were easy to dismiss, especially because Mona is a senior boxer. It started with little things. She suddenly didn't want her face get touched or bumped every time she plays with Lisa. Um, then her front paw started knuckling. She was also losing weight, and I noticed a subtle head tilt. And she just looked so lethargic, and she wasn't herself. And sometimes she also yelps, and I don't know the reason, like what's causing it. And so we went to a vet first and were told it could be something like spondylosis and that she might need pain meds long term for the rest of her life. But my gut kept saying this is different. And at her wellness exam, I brought up the knuckling, and that's when we were referred to neurology. That referral changed everything. The neurologist told us that she suspected a brain tumor, and then she laid out options. She said that there were three paths: palliative care, radiation, or surgery. And she was honest about the risk. She explained surgery could be dangerous and that Mona might not even survive on the table. She also explained that if we did nothing except comfort care, we might be looking at 3 to 6 months. And she said that radiation could potentially give her more time, something like around a year and a half, depending on what the tumor looked like and how Mona responded. I just remembered sitting there thinking that this cannot be real. This is my dog. Mona is my baby. And then came the part that completely crushed me. To confirm it, we needed MRI. MRI was about $6,000. I didn't have the money. And I want to say this out loud because everyone is having financial difficulties. And I felt guilty. I felt panicked. I felt angry that love isn't enough to make these decisions easy. But then I looked at Mona and I thought that I needed to know what I'm dealing with. I needed answers, so we did it. And while we were waiting, those days were some of the longest of my life. And then when we got the diagnosis, meningioma, my body reacted like it was trauma. I cried and cried. I was in disbelief, and I kept thinking that I must have missed something or I should have done something sooner. And the 3 to 6 months part, that sentence just replayed in my head. I couldn't sleep. I would wake up and listen for Mona's breathing, and then I would just stare at her like, please don't leave me. If you've been there, I want you to hear this. Your grief is not weakness, it's love with nowhere to go. And eventually, I realized something. I needed two things: support, people who understood what it feels like to love a sick dog, and I needed information, not random internet fear, but something made me feel like less powerless. That's when I found a Facebook group called Dog Cancer Survival, and I am not exaggerating. Just seeing people talk openly about their dog, about their treatments, their hard days, it helped me breathe again. I didn't feel crazy. I didn't feel alone. And through that group, I came across a book called The Dog Cancer Survival Guide by Dr. Damien Dressler. I am not sponsored. I am just sharing what helped me. And that book gave me something I desperately needed, like a framework. It helped me understand that cancer or tumor doesn't automatically mean there's nothing you can do. It helped me see that there are different paths, treatment paths, comfort focused path, and supportive care path. And you can make decisions based on your dog's quality of life, your vet's guidance, and what's realistic for you and your family. And it also taught me that it's okay to be an advocate, that it's okay to ask your vet questions like, what are our options? What are our risks and benefits? What does of life looks like for each option? What will you do if this were your dog? For me, that shift from panic to a plan was everything. Not because it erased fear, but because it gave me direction. I want to tell every pet parent watching this, please don't give up just because you're terrified. You may have more than one option. You may be able to get more time. You may be able to improve comfort. You may be able to make today a good day, even when diagnosis is heavy. But it's also okay if your path is comfort care. That is not giving up. That is love as well. But whatever you choose, please choose it from a place of support and information, not isolation and fear. And if you're stuck with I don't have the money part, I see you. That's real life. You are still a good pet parent. The fact that you're here learning and loving your dog means everything. In this Brain Tumor Diary playlist, I am going to share our story step by step. The early signs I noticed, how the vet visits went, what the neurology told us, what the oncology told us, what treatment and home care look like, and how I handle the emotional side day by day. And then in our DM diaries, I'll share how Mona's mobility changed and how we adapted to wheels, wagon strolls, belly harness support, and our daily routine. If you want to follow Mona's journey and learn what helped us, please subscribe and stay tuned. And if you're going through something similar, comment your dog's name below. I read the comments. I want this channel to feel like a safe place for pet parents who are doing the hard things. Thank you for being here. From me, Mona, and Lisa, one day at a time.